Today we are going to discuss about the firewall fundamentals. Okay, this course is mainly on the Palo Alto security and Palo Alto security network security. How the Palo Alto is emerged as an Palo Alto emerged as an security vendor, and the Palo Alto is one of the leading security vendor in this entire world. And if we go anywhere in the networking domain or anywhere, you can go on any IT company, any MNC company, the Palo Alto is the main firewall that is going to be used on their networks. Palo Alto has its own ability to provide a security from layer 2 to layer 7. Okay, from layer 2 to layer 7, the Palo Alto is providing the security by having its own capability of instant traffic, the traffic that is going through the firewall. Okay, actually, what is a firewall and why we need a firewall? If you are using a firewall, we need to know why we are using the firewall. Okay, and what are the features or what are the capabilities that firewall will do. Apart, we can also use the router for security purpose, but the routers will only routers are the layer 3 devices, right? So routers will only useful up to layer 3. If you want to have an protection to protect your network through up to L7, so we need to have a firewall. Okay, what the firewall will do? Okay, the firewall is an network security device that will control and monitor the traffic that is flowing from the firewall, whether it is an outgoing or incoming traffic. The firewall first will inspect the traffic, and it will be allowed or blocked based upon the security rules that we defined in the firewall. What is firewall and why we need the firewall? Why we need the firewall means we have firewalls have their own capabilities, and the firewall will have these features like traffic control. The first one is traffic control. How the traffic control will be done by the firewall means the firewall will monitor and filter in sense we need to define the rules, whether we need to allow the rules or block allow the traffic through the firewall. If we let us consider, can show you picture once. If we see here, this is a firewall, and if we take this is some inside network, and if you see this is some internet, we have an connectivity to the firewall. We have a multiple in between. There will be multiple devices, but here we have our internal network directly connected to the firewall, and firewall is connected to the network. Okay, if you want to allow the incoming if you want to allow the traffic flowing through from internal network to the outside, we need to define some set of rules in the firewall so that it will allow the traffic. Or we need if you are creating the security rules, we have some actions for the security rules. We have an actions like allow, deny, or drop. Those are the actions that will be setting on the security rules. Based upon the actions in the security rules, the firewall will monitor the traffic and will check the security rules. Will check the security rules and it will be allowed or denied based upon the security rules. Likewise, the traffic, if the traffic is coming from the outside inside, if the traffic is coming from the internet to the inside, do the same thing. It will do the security, whatever the security rule that we have configured from outside to inside. It will do the inspection and it will allow based upon the security rule that configured. Okay, that is an traffic flow between traffic that the firewall will do, and it will do a protection against multiple attacks. In the network, we will many attacks. Some attackers sitting in the internet, and they will send and some multiple using their systems. They will try to access our sites, and it will there are in cyber security, we can in daily basis we can hear that there is a scam is happening and cyber crime is happening, so, and malware attacks, and there will be an one in the network. Most common one is an DDoS attack. We can see an TCP flood attack. What they will do is they will simply sending them infinite packets with the source IP, and they will be doing our network more what we call is they will attack with the more number of packets, so that our network will be congested and become more whenever we are accessing it will we sometimes they're facing some latency, right? So to avoid those such type of situations, or to avoid denial of services and TCP flood attacks, the firewalls very able to protect against those attacks. And the segmentation part, next one is segmentation in this, the firewall is used to maintain the zones. Likewise, how I have discussed here, internal and outside, we have to we have to create some zones for every firewall. There will be a zone. Likewise, in routers we have, and in routers or switches we have, in the switches we have VLANs, right? What VLANs do? VLAN will separate the broadcast domain, right? Likewise, in the firewall we have some type of zones, like outside inside zone, or out zone, trust zone, untrust zone. We can call it as an untrust zone, and DMZ zone. We can create those zones, and we can have those zones to avoid attacks, or to avoid unauthorized access. We can segment the firewalls to create to avoid those unauthorized access from outside or the inside network. We can segment this network into different zones. Okay, so it will be allowing the organization to isolate sensitive information. Okay, and we have any less secure systems that will be available. It will also be isolate from the unauthorized access. Okay, and policy enforcement, we have discussed about security rule, right? Those are the we can call it as an security policies, where the firewalls will help to enforce those security policies by allowing or blocking based upon the set of in the security policy. We can control the traffic using IPs, as well as if we want to allow block certain type of users, we can also call the usernames here in the security policies. We can call the applications, and we can also call the, if you want to block certain ports or allow the certain ports, we can create an policy, and we can based upon our requirement. Okay, if you want if you want to allow some SSH or telnet access to or if you want to allow only the SSH telnet access to someone, we can configure the policies. Okay, that is an policy enforcement in the firewalls. And monitor and logging. What monitor and logging will do is the firewalls, whatever the traffic that is coming in the firewalls, it will log. Okay, we'll have an certain type of logs. While I will show you once we have a LDAP access. Okay, the firewall will log the certain logs like traffic logs or some type of threat logs. We'll have an system logs. All these logs the firewall will log, and that logs will be used for monitoring purpose. Okay, whatever at particular time we can say that at particular of time we are not able to access the internet. Okay, sometimes in the network there will be some congestion will happen and latency will happen, and we will be able to access, we are not able to access the some resources. So that what it will do is we can quickly log into the firewall, and at that particular of time what's happening on the network we can see using the logging. Okay, the logs will be logged on the firewalls, and we can check if someone comes and reporting the issue that I am unable to access this, or I am unable to access some resources in the internet. So what firewall will do is the firewall will log every traffic that is flowing through the the firewall logs the traffic that is flowing through the firewall, and we can see that what's happening at that particular of time. Okay, this monitoring and logging will be helpful to in the troubleshooting part. Okay, this is the VPN support. Mostly all the firewall will support the VPNs, like we have an site-to-site VPNs and remote access VPNs, right? These firewalls are much helpful in that type, site-to-site VPNs or the remote site access VPNs. Okay, and compliance and the firewalls. Compliance means the firewalls will have daily updates like app and threat versions, and also the antivirus versions to provide more security to the granular security to the net. These firewalls will maintain all these type of updates, so that they will meet the whatever the firewalls will also have the OS updates. Okay, apart from the OS update, there will be some dynamic updates. What dynamic updates will do is dynamic updates will be regularly updating on the firewalls, so that whatever it will protect the network by mostly it will protect the your network from the vulnerability attacks, and it will also threat prevention. So all this will come under these components. Okay, these are the this is the main actual functionalities of the firewall. Okay, all these will be seen on all the firewalls, and mostly the Palo Alto firewall will be more useful, and it will be an user friendly. Like in most of the firewalls we have to configure using the CLI, but the Palo Alto firewall will be accessed through the GUI. We can also access CLI, but mostly GUI will be used to configure and monitor everything using the GUI. GUI means web access. Okay, but from the CLI, if you want to troubleshoot the things, the CLI will be more helpful at that time. Okay. Do you have any doubts? Are you able to get the points? Yeah. The hardware models, the Palo Alto will have different models hardware models, we'll have also the apart from the hardware models, we have also the software firewalls, where we can deploy in the multiple VM series, so that the people who are not have much space to deploy these hardware models, or the people who are not ready to cope with these hardware firewalls, they will go with the virtual firewalls, VM firewalls. Okay, those are called the software firewalls. Okay, just they will have to install the VM series firewall software on the virtual machines, so that from there they can access the firewalls. The functionality wise, hardware firewalls and software firewalls will be same, but what makes the difference is the people who are not deploying these hardware firewalls, they will go with the software firewalls. We have in Palo Alto we have different hardware models like PA200 series, PA400 series, and 800 series, 3200 series, 5200 series, and 7300 series. This every firewall has its own limitations and its own functionality. This PA200 or 400 will be used in a small business and some branch offices. Okay, because these PA220 400 series are like less GB RAM and less storage. Okay, like if you go with any if you can see any smartphones, like if you have a Redmi లో చూసుకుంటే మనకి డిఫరెంట్ మోడల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా, దట్ డిఫరెంట్ మోడల్స్ విల్ బి ఆల్సో based upon their RAM and specifications. Likewise in Palo Alto they have their own specifications. Each firewall has own their specifications, and based upon the requirement the customers will buy these firewalls. Okay, these PA220 400 series firewalls are ideal for the small business. Like if you want to have an if you want to maintain one corporate office, or with only small corporate office, like we can call it as an some government office will be there, right? Collector offices like this. For that they will go with the 220 or 400 series, because they won't do much thing. They need a basic security, so that they will achieve the security in their network. Okay, so these PA220s or 400s ideal for those peoples. But if you go with the 800 series, this will be suitable for the small to medium scale enterprises. Okay, they will have some feature wise there will be a difference, but security wise all firewalls will be doing the same thing. Okay, we have some features will be added. If you compare with the 200 to 400, the features will be added on the 800, but they will offer the same security. Okay, and if you want to have if you have a mid-sized organization, and if you want high throughput needs, this 3200 will be useful. And we have different models in the 3200 as well. And if you go to the large, if we have a large enterprises, like if we have several MNCs like TCS, Wipro, and Accenture. These MNCs are the customers to the Palo Alto. Every MNC company has its own security, where they are deployed the Palo Alto firewalls. Mainly the Palo Alto firewalls will be used in the security of their corporate networks. Okay, these 3200 and 5200 will be used there. They mostly they are using mostly most MNCs they are using 3200 and 5200 in their network. Okay, and this PA700 series will be high perform. This is also used in large enterprises, but these are all the chassis based. Okay, if you see here, and I will show you the pictures of these firewalls. Okay, chassis wise, instance there will be the height of 7 to 8 inches of height. Okay, 7 to 8 feet of height will be there, these 700 series firewalls. This will be like mostly large service providers and data centers. There these 700 series firewalls will be used to perform this 700 series will be have their own functionality in the chassis model. And VM series firewalls, we have also some VM series firewalls like VM50, VM100, 300, 500. This is also have its own capabilities, and mostly VM50 is ruled out from Palo Alto, but we have 100, 300 and 500. We can install it on the cloud or on premises, and we can try to access from there. Like we have an GCP, right? GCP means Google Cloud, or we have an AWS, or we have an Azure. Okay, those they are also using the Palo Alto in the cloud as well. Okay, they will deploy these VM series firewalls in their environment, and they will access these firewalls for their security purpose in the cloud. CS series firewalls are also the part of Palo Alto, but we are not dealing these CS series firewalls, or we are not dealing here in these codes. Okay, we are mostly focus on the hardware and VM series firewalls. Yeah, if you see here, these are all the firewall pictures, and this is an PA200 series, which is called PA220. It will have its own interface types and interfaces. And this is an 800 series firewalls. We have PA820. In the 800 series we have PA820 and 850, and this will be basically these firewalls will be differ in their RAM and storage device. Nothing apart from that. These firewalls will be functional device. These all the firewalls perform same functionality. This just will be differ in their size, RAM, and whatever the sessions that they have able to log in, or and the log type. Those are the, but functional device, all the firewalls will be function in the same way. And these are the 400 series firewalls. We have 410, 420, 450 and 460 firewalls. And yeah, these are the 500 series firewalls. We have 5260, 5280, 5220 and 5250. And the below picture is for the PA3200 series. We have 320, 3220, 3250, 3260 firewalls. See here, this is a 700 series firewalls, where these firewalls will be used in the large networks like data centers and ISPs. These firewalls will be used. This will be a chassis wise. Okay, once these firewalls are installed, we cannot move these firewalls. Okay, we can only, if you want to remove anything, we can use this chassis. We have on the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chassis, right? We can only remove these chassis, but whole the firewall we cannot, once installed, we cannot move this, because it will be a more heavy weight and heavy it will have more weight and height also. It will be like 7 to 8 feet of height, and we cannot remove. Once installed, we cannot move these two firewall, these 7000 series. We can only move the chassis wise. Okay, we can, if you want to remove, we can remove the chassis. If you see here on the right side also, we have some lot of chassis. This is the 7000 series firewalls. Okay, and these are the hardware firewall, but we can't see the VM series firewall, because those are the software firewall, right? Once we install the software only, we can see in the VM series. um, these are the types of firewalls, okay, hardware and software. And in the firewalls we have interface types. In the Palo Alto there are multiple deployments more, and we can discuss here. Okay, yeah, first is a management interface. Okay, for every router or for every switch, for every firewalls, we will have a management interface. Without management interface we cannot access the firewall. Not only the firewall, we cannot access the router, we cannot access the switch without management interface. Likewise, in the firewall also there will be a one interface. We can see here in the firewalls, if we see here, we have an console ports, right? These are the console ports, and one will be an the bottom one is an console port, and top one is an management. Okay, every firewall has its own dedicated management interface to access the device. Okay, if you see on the 400 series firewalls, this is a management port. Mainly the management interface is used to access the firewall's web interface, or if you want to do an SSH or a telnet, or we need to have the management interface. Okay, if you don't have a management interface, or if you don't want to access the firewall through the management interface, we can configure the data plane interface as well. This we can call it as an inbound interface or data plane interfaces. We are seeing here on the multiples on the firewall, right? One of the interface we can also configure the management features. Okay, if you want to configure first port as an management interface, we can enable that interface, and we can assign the management rules or management whatever the features that will be in the management. We can have that on the data plane interface. We can access through the data plane interface as well. Okay, apart from management interface, we can also have the data plane interfaces. And we have an HA interface. We have in the Palo Alto we have a concept called high availability, which is used for redundancy. Okay, in the network, in the if you see here in the routers, we have an HSRP and VRRP is there, right, for redundancy. Likewise, in the firewall also we'll have an high availability for redundancy purpose, and some firewalls will have the dedicated HA interfaces, but some firewalls we don't see the dedicated HA interfaces. These HA interfaces are used communication between the primary and secondary firewalls. Okay, for redundancy, we can one firewall will be considered as a primary one, another firewall will be considered as a secondary, so that these HA interfaces are connected between the primary and secondary for the communication purpose. Okay, to share the sessions, or to share the traffic, or to share the configurations between the two, and use these interfaces, and we can share the information between primary and secondary firewalls. If you see on the firewalls, some firewalls will have the dedicated ports. Here we can see, here we don't have a dedicated port on the PA220, but if you see on the 820, we have the rightmost two ports will be there, right? These two ports, and these two ports are HA1 and HA2 ports. Okay, we have different types of HA ports. We can discuss more about those ports in the high availability topic. We have an high availability topic in this Palo Alto. We can discuss more about those HA ports. Just for in this class, we can just remember the type of HA ports. Okay, and tap interface. These are all the. What is the tap interface in the Palo Alto? Tap interface means if the one interface is configured as an, it will just monitor the traffic. It will not participate in the whatever the traffic flowing, but it just monitor how it is like. If we configure, and let us see This is an firewall, and it will be connected to switch. Okay, it will be connected to one switch, and there are multiple monitoring systems will be there in your network. Okay, for every network there will be monitoring systems. There will be certain department who is dealing with this monitoring. Okay, we have a monitoring systems here, and if you see here, this one of the port of the firewall is connected to the switch. Okay, what switch will do is the switch, the systems are connected to the switch. This is the one of the interface. You can tag in the Palo Alto firewall, we can call it as an Ethernet. Okay, this is an Ethernet 1/1. Okay, if we configure Ethernet 1/1 as a tap interface, it won't participate in the traffic, but whatever the traffic coming to the firewall, if the traffic is coming from the internet or if the traffic is coming from the inside network, it will just monitor and it will send the traffic to the monitoring systems. Okay, whatever the monitoring system we have configured here, it will send the traffic to the monitoring systems, and this is mainly used for the tap interface is mainly used for the monitoring purpose. Okay, on the firewall, it will be used for the monitoring the traffic that is receiving on the firewall. Okay, and this is a layer 2 interface. The next one is a layer 2 interface. This layer 2 interface, what it will do, if we configure the interface and layer 2 interface, it will be acting as a layer 2 device. Okay, layer 2 device, what is the layer 2 device that we have? The switch is a layer 2 device, right? So it will be acting as an layer 2. Okay, if we configure we can configure on the interface levels only. Okay, if you configure Ethernet 1/1 as an layer 2, acting as an switch. Okay, this Ethernet 1/1 will be acting for the switch, and it won't accept if layer 3 traffic is coming on this interface, we can't this layer 2 interface don't accept those traffic. It will only accept only layer 2 traffic. Okay, and if we have next one is an layer 3 interface. This layer 3 interface operates like same like layer 2. If we have a layer 3, it will be acting, if the interface is configured as an layer 3, it will be acting as a router. Okay, router, what all the routers will do, it will all the routing steps, and it will check for the destination, and it will route the traffic based upon that. What these layer 3 interfaces will do, all the layer 3 stuffs, like receiving the traffic from the layer 3 interfaces or layer 3 devices. It will check for the it will check the routing table for the destination, and it will forward those traffic to the different networks in the different networks that are connected on the firewalls. Okay, and next mode is an virtual interface mode. This virtual interface, that it will divide if we have a network segment, so the virtual wire interface will divide the network segment transparently, but physically we can't segment this interface. But the virtual interface, if we configure the interface as an virtual interface, it will if you want to configure the virtual interface, we need two interfaces. Okay, see this is an firewall, and we need two interfaces. Okay, that we need two interfaces, and it will what it will do is, it will just transparently segment the networks. Okay, this transparently segment, this will become one network and this will be another network, so that it will protect the just like an VLANs in the switch. Okay, these virtual wires will transparently segment Ethernet network, and it will pass the traffic through within the networks. Okay, and we have an aggregate interface. Aggregate interface means you have heard about the port channels, like port channels or lag. Likewise, on the firewalls we have an aggregate interface. If you want to bundle the multiple interfaces, like if you want to if you have 3 interfaces, and if you want to bundle all those interfaces, we can configure one aggregate internet, and we can add those all the 3 interfaces in the aggregate interface to increase the bandwidth, okay, and also provide the redundancy. Like same like port channels and lags, these aggregate interfaces works, okay. And VLAN interfaces, once this is that one type of interface in the firewalls where we can configure a VLANs, and for that VLANs we can assign some IP addresses for communication purpose, okay. And we have a tunnel interface where we can use it for the, we have discussed about the VPN support on the firewalls, right? We have an site-to-site VPNs and remote access VPNs. In these tunnel interfaces, we will configure the tunnel interfaces. We have an topic called IPsec and Global Protect. There we can use these tunnel interfaces. We can discuss much more about tunnel interfaces in those site-to-site VPNs and remote site access VPNs, okay. Do you have any doubts in these interface types? If you have any doubt, just ask me. Otherwise, we can proceed with the next topic. Yes. Yeah, we can. I will be considering as and you have no doubts on this, okay. And we can move on to the next topic, zones. Okay, every firewall has its has the zones, where these zones are logically segmenting the group of interfaces, okay. If you want to see here, if you want to every firewalls, they want to segment the interface, they want to segment the networks, okay. If you want to segment, see here in the picture, we have an Ethernet 1/1 connected to the some servers and one PC, and Ethernet 1/3 is connected to the internet, and Ethernet 1/2 is connected to the some other servers, okay. If you want to logically need to segment these networks, we can define which are the zones, okay. These zones are must and should on the firewalls, so that they will apply the certain rules. We have discussed about the security policies, right? So these security policies will be applied based on the zone, so that whatever the traffic that is flowing from one zone to another zone, they will follow the security rules. They will check the security rules. If the traffic is allowed, it will allow the traffic to the one zone to another zone. By default, intra-zone traffic is allowed, okay. Intra-zone means the same zone, the firewall, the devices which are in the same zone, we can call it as intra-zone. By default on the firewalls, intra-zone traffic is allowed by default. The action will be by default allowed, because the same zone, right? We don't have any issues with the if you and me are in the same zone, and if you and me are communicating in the same zone, there will be no need of blocking the traffic. By default, the firewalls will do the allow the traffic which are on the same zone, but we need an security rules. We need to define some set of rules to allow the traffic from one zone to another zone. In the Palo Alto, we have three types of zones. We can call it as a trust zone or inside zone. And the second one is outside zone, and third one is an DMZ zone. DMZ zone means demilitarized zone. Where we can use trust zones or inside zones, okay. If you want, if this trust zone mainly we can consider as an the systems which are in the internal networks. Okay, the systems which are in the internal network, we can configure interfaces in as a trust zone, and we can have the we can have them in the trust zone. Okay, and such most probably we have a corporate LAN, right? The corporate LAN will be considered as a trust zone, or the firewalls or the devices which are in the inside we can call it as a trust zone or inside zone. We have to define those zones based upon our requirements. Okay, and untrust zone or outside zone. Okay, apart from the trusted interfaces, all will be considered as an outside. Okay, most probably the interfaces which are connected to the internet or the ISPs or the interfaces, the firewalls, the interfaces on the firewalls which are connected to the internet or the ISPs will be considered as an outside zone. Will be configured those interfaces in the outside zone, so that we can configure the set of rules to allow the traffic from inside to outside. Okay, if we this will be called as an interzone. By default, the interzone traffic will be blocked. Okay, see here, if you are seeing on the picture, we are seeing the red arrows, right? These red arrows are the different zones. We have we can see on the picture inside zone, outside zone, DMZ zone, and data center zone. If we configure, we can configure the more zones as well. We can configure based upon our requirement, and we can name them as we like. But most probably we can use these 3 zones as an by default. We have three zones, and these 3 zones have their own limitations and specifications. Okay, one thing we need to remember in the zones is the traffic will by default allow in the intra zone, and the traffic will be denied by default in the interzone. Interzone means from one zone to other zone, the traffic will be denied by default. If you want to allow the traffic, we need to create a set of rules. Okay, we can discuss more about that in creating a security policies. These DMZ zones, we can place the servers or the or any of the devices that are publicly available, but they will be able to access the inside resources. Okay, those type of services or the servers will be kept in the DMZ zone. It will be publicly faced, but there will be the access by the internal networks. Okay, those type of servers will be kept in the DMZ zone. If we take any servers like corporate networks, they will have multiple servers, and they need to access. If take TCS or the Wipro, they will have their own applications, right? Like if they want to apply a leave, they will have some portals, and if they want to make attendance, they will have some certain portals. Those type of portals will be there in the servers. Those servers will be kept in this DMZ zone, so that the internal resources, those are the publicly faced, but the internal resources will be able to access based upon the security policy that applied here. Okay, these are the zone types, and can go to the this is an interface management profile. We have a data plane interfaces, right? Data plane interfaces, right? As I showed you, the in-band interfaces. Yeah, these are the in-band interfaces. We have a concept called interface management profile, where these interfaces will be if we configure the management interface, and if that management interface profile called on the interfaces, these ports are able to do certain type of services. Okay, we have a certain type of services in the management profile, where these are the key features like HTTPS. So if you want to configure the HTTPS in the management profile, and we can call it as an Ethernet 1/1, it will be acting it will be able to access the web access. Okay, HTTPS means whatever we are accessing on the web. Okay, if you see here, this is an HTTP only. Okay, if we see here this mail, this is an HTTP access. So we can define the certain type of services on the interfaces, certain type of service like management interface. We can call it as an HTTPS, and this HTTPS will be configured for secure web access. Okay, and this is an SSH. Apart from the mostly management interface is used for the HTTPS and SSH. So likewise, if you want to configure the inbound interface or data plane interfaces to access the firewall through web or SSH, we can also configure the data plane interfaces. Okay, in every network, management interface will be used as an web access, or the if you want to access the partition, we need management interface IP, right? But in the Palo Alto firewall, we can also configure data plane interfaces to access the web interface, web GUI and SSH the data plane interface. Okay, and ping. If you want to allow the ping on the interfaces, we need to enable this service. Okay, so that the traffic, the ping traffic will be allowed on the data plane interfaces. Okay, if you don't enable this ping, the ping traffic won't be allowed on the data plane interfaces. Okay, and same like SNMP. SNMP is an monitoring tool where we can this SNMP will be configured for monitoring and managing the resources. We can enable, if you want to allow the SNMP traffic on these interface management files, we can allow by enabling the SNMP. Likewise, telnet and web UA access. Telnet we can also use, but we have an SSH, right? So telnet will be mostly not preferred, will not be preferred, because it is not an secure one. Okay, and most probably these management interface profiles will be used on the data plane interfaces. Okay, only on the data plane interfaces, where we can allow controls to the data plane interfaces. If you see here, these are the data plane interfaces on the firewalls, right? These data plane interfaces, we can enable the management interfaces, so that whatever the type of services we have enabled in the management interface profile or management profile, we can apply on the interfaces, so that the interfaces act accordingly based upon the services that we have configured here. Yeah, these are the some basic fundamentals on the firewalls. Okay, first we have discussed about the firewall, what is a firewall and why we need the firewalls, and we have some features on the firewall that we have discussed about, and firewall models. We have certain hardware models and models, as well as interface types on the firewall. These are the data plane interfaces and management interface types. See, these H interfaces, we have H interfaces, right? Some firewalls will have a dedicated H interfaces, but some firewalls don't have an dedicated H interfaces. Okay, in that case, we need to configure the data plane interfaces. We have an HA type of data plane interface, so that we can enable the HA type, and we can use these data plane interfaces as an HA ports. Some firewalls will have an dedicated HA interfaces. We don't need to use an a data plane interfaces for that HA. Okay. These are the interface types and zones. We have trust zone, untrust zone, and DMZ zone. And this is a management interface profile. Okay, these are the today's topics. Do you have any doubts till now for this today's topic? Any questions?
Hello, sir. So how to download this the Cloud Lab, sir?
Sorry?
Cloud Lab. When we will get access?
Cloud Lab. These are the only we are discussing about the fundamentals, right? Once we start. Sorry.
These topics are clear, sir. Understand.
Yeah, we can provide access. It will once we start doing the lab, we can provide the access. Okay. These are the fundamentals. We have some more fundamentals to teach about. So after this, we can provide access to the lab.
Okay, sir.
We can once we get the access to the lab, we can see whatever we have teach here. Okay. We can see the interface type, zones, management profile. All these we can see on the lab. Once we can start doing the lab, we can provide access to those cloud labs. Okay, but any doubts? After this class, we will upload this PPT in our website, so that you can access the website, and you can go ahead and access this PPT, so that go through the PPT. If you have any doubts after this class as well, you can post it in our WhatsApp group, so that I can check and I will revert you with your queries. Okay. If you don't have any doubts, we can wind up this session now, and we can connect tomorrow at the same time, 8 a.m. Tomorrow we can discuss the packet flow of how the packet will flow in the firewalls, and what are the stages that it has to pass once the packet start from one source to the destination. We can discuss the stages in the firewalls, how the packet will go from source to destination, and what are the inspections and what are the things that is going to happen on the firewall. Okay, once the traffic of firewalls and between source and destination, these are all the identifications, and tomorrow topic will be an important one. Okay, don't miss that tomorrow topic. Okay, actual packet flow will be discussed tomorrow. Okay, if you don't have any doubts, we can wind up this session now and go. We will be uploading the PPT right away after this class, so that you can able to access, and you can go through the PPT, and if you have any doubts, you can post in our WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks guys, thanks for joining, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Bye.